Okay, so welcome to Pilates. It's not Pilates. You guys can play your own music if you like. We're going to get started. Feel free to modify it in your moves. All right, just make sure I have all that lights on. It's getting dark outside early now. It's kind of depressing. So we'll start with breathing. Let's calm down. That's for myself. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. So for Pilates, so that you're not constantly looking to the side, I do recommend putting your device maybe slightly in front of you, near your feet. Have water breaks anytime you need, and feel free to modify any of the movements. I will be giving movement modifications throughout. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Keep in mind that if you have any lower back pain at any time, feel free to keep the feet on the ground or to elevate the legs towards the ceiling if you're doing an extension of some sort. And at any point, you can keep your head, neck, and shoulder blades on the ground if your neck is tight. Let's go ahead and roll down. Slowly. Nice curve in your spine. And we're on the mats. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. I'm sort of a distance away from the computer so that maybe you can't hear me exhaling, but the more forcefully you exhale out the air, the more your abdominals will be recruited, your abdominal muscles. If your lower back is currently off the mat, as it would be if you're just lying there, not really thinking about imprints, we're going to go ahead and imprint into the mats. So that space underneath your lower back has disappeared. Inhale, back to neutral, tailbone on the floor, exhale, imprints. One more time, inhale, neutral, exhale, imprint. So imprint is important because it gives your lower back a little more stability, especially when your legs are in the air. Bring our knees up right over the hips. If you have any lower back issues, you can pull your knees a little closer. And from here, we're going to tap the toes out one at a time. Tap and return. Exhale, inhale. So you should feel increased abdominal recruitment every time you lower the leg away from the head, as long as the other leg stays still. You can have your hands down on the floor, pressing gently into the floor for stability. Or if you want a little bit more abdominal recruitment, you can take those hands off the floor, right over the shoulders. Good. I'm going to lower both legs at the same time. And don't feel obligated to go all the way down to the ground. There's no obligation to do anything that I'm doing in class today. With both legs going down, there's a higher chance that your lower back may pop off the mats. So you want to really move slowly and feel where your lower back is throughout the movement of your legs. You can also put your hands back down on the floor here. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Good. I'm going to take my elbows out to the side and gently press them into the floor. I'm going to squeeze my knees and feet together. I'm going to take it to the side. So it's like your thighs are windshield wipers, side to side. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. You can also straighten your entire hands out and press hands into the floor to stabilize. You want shoulder blades to stay anchored to the floor. I'm only going about halfway down with the knees. Notice I'm not pulling my knees in and moving side to side. I'm really trying to keep those heels lifted, not dropped, and keep those knees at 90 degrees. And warming up the obliques. Last one. Back to center. And now you can drop your heels. Place your feet hip distance apart on the floor and roll up into your shoulder bridge. Pressing into the heels, reaching the knees away from the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, slowly roll back down. The goal is articulation of the spine as well as glute recruitment. Working on those butt muscles. Inhale. Nice hip flexor stretch here too. And then exhale, lower. Inhale and exhale. You want to feel yourself peeling your spine off inch by inch. Inhale at the top and exhale. Rolling back down. And last time. Okay, ab front, inhale, prepare, exhale, reach for the toes, eye gaze underneath, inhale, exhale, back down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to lift. Sorry, that's wrong. As long as you're breathing, you're okay. We're gonna exhale to lift. We're gonna inhale to hold, and we're gonna exhale to inhale. Exhale to lift. Inhale to hold, exhale. And generally, exhales last longer than the inhale. So I'm exhaling, slowly controlling the lift, quick inhale, and then exhale. Slowly lowering against gravity, controlling the motion. The exertion phase is always controlled. Going into our hundreds, you can keep your feet on the ground. As you pump those arms, you can lift your legs, the tabletop, straight or on the diagonal. I'm going to do different leg positions, so you can change with me, or you can change in any time sequence that you like. All right, reaching those arms and making shoulders up, and we pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. If you need to put your head back on the ground, feel free to do that. 20. Inhale. Exhale. 30, inhale. Exhale. 40, keep reaching the fingers. Exhale. 50, just gonna lower my legs a little bit more. Exhale. And lift. Inhale. Exhale. And lower. Inhale. Exhale. And lift. Inhale. Exhale. Lower. This is the last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the legs, bend, lower the head, neck, and shoulders, and flip over for spine extension. How's everyone? I didn't even meet you guys. Not that anyone's going to talk to me, but in case someone's cat decides to just run into the room and start crying, you know, we don't want them to. Just so many people with cats. Okay, so we have our forearms on the floor, pressing into the floor. We're gonna try something a little different today here with the spine extensions. Spine extensions, I would say, are a little more boring because there's really not too many ways you can work your spine. It's always the same movement pattern. We're extending it. We're lifting the chest, using the muscles around the spine to lift that chest. Maybe about the top of the rib cage is off the ground. I do want you to keep your head and neck aligned with the spine, so we're not trying to look up or to the right or left. Definitely not up. So a slight tuck of the chin. For now, I'm keeping the tops of the feet on the mats. So here's what I want to show you. We're here with the elbows by the rib cage. I want you to slide your arms forward just a little bit, and it can be even off the mat. So you're not able to press into your forearms as much when your arms are more forward. Like when it's right underneath, you can definitely press into it. But when it's farther out, you'll find that you can't press down as much. But what you can do is press into the hands, which gives you a little bit more stretch. So this is what I want you to kind of pay attention to. Use your spine muscles here to lift without putting any pressure into those forearms. And then when you've lifted as much as you can, press into the hands and make it a stretch. Now don't do this last part if it bothers your lower back. Bend those elbows again, and then lower. Just feeling the difference between what is being done with your spine muscles versus what is being done with your arms. Bend and lower. Do a couple more times. Very, very little pressure into my forearms. Now I'm putting hand pressure. Really not pressing to my forearms because my elbows come up. And then from here, gently lower the forearms and back down. Did I say 2 more? 1 more? Do I listen to myself? No, usually not. Let's go ahead and stretch. Stretch yourself back, round the spine. So we've been arching our spine just now. We're working the spine muscles. So here is a good, nice stretch. Okay. We're sitting in the front half of our mats. And before we start doing our half roll back today, I want you to lean a little bit back, but not as far back as our half roll back, just a little bit back. And I want you to extend the legs before we even roll back. It's okay if it goes a little low. We're going to try to get our leg as straight as we can. We're also going to try to keep our knees as high as we can. So basically you should feel hip flexors and quads. And even though we're going to get to our abs, you should feel some ab work just to lift the leg. So now we're going to go halfway back. So arms reach forward, round the spine, stop when you're near the tops of your pants, and then lift back up. Okay. Notice that when you get to complete vertical, less work on your abs. Lean back, exhale, more work on your abs. Good. Now, if we don't sit all the way up to vertical, then our abs will stay more engaged. Here's tension. Don't go all the way up, and then less tension. More tension, less tension. Good. So we're going to try to avoid sitting all the way up. Keep our abdominal muscles work a little more. Keep drawing those abs in. If you need a break, sit all the way up. And then from here, we're going to lift one leg. So I'm going to lift my front leg here. And I'm going to keep it lifted. Exhale. Inhale. If you need to bend the knee, bend the knee. Exhale. Keep that same leg up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Give me one more time. With that same leg lifted. Good. Switch legs. If you need a little ab break, just sit up vertically. Good. Going halfway back. Exhale. Lift the other leg. Inhale. We're not coming all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. You can flex the foot, especially if you have any cramps in the foot. So we want to do 4 on each side. I think this is 4. Why can't I count to 4? You would think it's easy. Okay, let's roll all the way down. Okay. So give our hip flexors a little break. Well, we can't really give it a break during roll-ups. We'll give it a break later. We're going to roll up. Like this, reaching with our arms. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale. If you find yourself getting stuck, you can grab here. I'm going to show you some options. Stretch forward. Nice hamstring. If you got stuck, you can lift the leg. These are options. Inhale, head, neck, shoulders. Exhale, keep the legs up. Take your time with the stretch. Inhale. Play around with positions of your arms. Do you want to by your ears as you roll down? Do you want it reaching forward as you roll down? You have a lot of options, that whole range from your ears to in front. So if you're going to do one leg roll up, that's fine. That straightening out the leg can help you get over that hump of getting stuck there. A lot of people get stuck not because we're weak, but because our spine is just not as mobile in that one section. Inhale. I'm going to keep both feet down for this. And stretch up. When your arms are by the ears, it's more work as you lower back down. Try to keep the heels stuck to the floor. Your legs should be engaged. They're not just laying around on the floor. Your whole body's working in Pilates. All right, let's do 2 more times, one on each leg, or 2 more with your feet down. I don't know if you guys have your AC on, but I don't. It's pretty hot. It's like hot Pilates. I like it. You can always do as many reps as you like. So if I say 3 more or 2 more, if you don't want to do any more, you just don't do it. Okay, put back over onto your stomach. I'm going to lift, so you can have this is kind of the default position of our arms anyways. I'm going to lift the right leg, and then lower, lift the left leg, and then lower. My feet are about shoulder distance apart. I'm lifting my leg straight. So my whole thigh tries to come off the ground. That doesn't mean my pelvis rotates. We want to keep the pelvis and hips square to the floor and try to extend our leg, extend our hip back as much as we can. And inhale, lift. Good. We're going to add the upper body. So you have a couple choices. You can press into the floor with your forearms as you lift your chest, as you lift one leg. Or if you want to lift the weight of your arms, you stack your hands underneath your forehead and you lift. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale and exhale. In and out. If you would like to lift both legs and your chest at the same time, feel free. Let's do 4 more. You can do right, left, or both legs to 4. Inhale, exhale. Try to keep those legs nice and straight. All right, and push yourself back for that stretch. We're going to do rolling like a ball. I would say the technique is mostly about the spine and abs. So this movement is very important. To initiate, I basically round my spine and it kind of drags me down. So right here I want to crunch back up by lifting my head, neck, and chest toward my legs, okay? So what I'm trying to avoid doing is kicking out my legs, hugging my knees and to make me fall back, all right? So we're not like on a swing. So see if you can try to hold onto your shins, but only move your spine. So exhale, fall back, inhale, crunch. Exhale, fall by drawing the abs in more and crunch. So I might flatten out just a little bit in order to bring my shoulders forward. And if you aren't quite feeling it, one thing I would tell you to try is come to a dead stop here and then try to initiate the rolling from here without using your legs. All right? This is one of those exercises that looks very simple, but is a little bit more challenging to grasp the full techniques of it. But don't worry if you don't get it today. If you fail to come all the way up, that's fine. You need to work your ass. Let's do a couple more. By couple, I mean 4. Couple times couple. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Good. I like to teach rolling like a ball because it goes cool into single leg stretch. So from here, slowly roll down and then pause. And there's your single leg stretch. You can start toward the ceiling. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Neck gets tired, put the head, neck, and shoulders down. Want a little more challenge? Reach the legs closer to the floor. Make Pilates challenging but doable for you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to change it to a scoop. Low to high. Low, high. Like I stand right there, I scoop the stand with my feet and I flip it on someone. Low, high. Low, high. If you need to do it very slowly, it's fine. Slow is always better in Pilates. Good. Hands behind the head, support the neck. Do a couple more scoops. Feel the difference when your hands are behind your head versus it resting on your knees. And now change it to your obliques. This is called the ab series because it works your abs. The entire Pilates class works your abs. This specifically really targets your abs. Try to get both shoulder blades off the floor. Inhale to midline, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you need a break, take a break at any time. We're going to double leg stretch. You can reach the arms and legs more towards the ceiling. See how that feels. If that's challenging for your abs, that's where you're going to aim. If it's not quite challenging, you take your arms and legs a little further from the midline or from your belly button, from each other. And then option to do it with the head, neck, and shoulders. We've done a lot of these already. We'll do 4 more. 4. If in doubt, do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Legs straight. Scissor. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Right here, when your hands are off, that's when your abs are really working. You kind of support your abs a little bit when you're holding onto your legs. If you want more challenge, don't touch your legs. Just reach toward your toes. Shall we do 4 more? 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay. Flip over. You should be more than ready to not do abs. In fact, you might even feel great to do a stretch. So remember the stretch we did earlier? So I kind of want to make it like we're going to work our triceps. So if you bend and extend your arms, you're engaging your triceps. These are like very interesting push-ups. So you want your elbows to be roughly 90 degrees. And it's a little just outside my shoulders. Now brace the abs. So draw the belly button up and in toward the spine so it is supporting the lower back. And from here, up and down. Exhale, inhale. So we're actually giving ourselves a little abdominal stretch. We just did really intense abdominals. And I'm just having you guys do some triceps. Now, we want to keep the abs braced a little bit so we don't overly arch our back too much. But allow it to feel the stretch. Feel your triceps yet? Should we count down? Doesn't matter how many I've done, I always just do 4 more. All right, here we go. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. By the way, this actually is a swan move. This is swan. Well, actually, this is swan. We're not going to do that, but we might do it one day, but not today. So now that we've done our triceps, we're going to now focus on the spine. So when we're doing the triceps, we weren't really working the spine muscles because we're pushing into the arms. So now we take away the arms. It's the same motion, it's an extension, but our spine muscles now should be fully engaged because our arms are no longer pressing into the floor for us. Inhale, exhale. Really open up that chest. Think about what it means to not slouch. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, but do all this with your head and neck aligned with your spine. Not looking up, chin slightly tucked. Last one. And hands down. Find your stretch. Okay. It's time for the plank. Did you guys hear my knee pop? All right, that was really loud. When you do the plank, you can do any plank variation you want. If you want to do it on your elbows, do it on your wrist. I'm going to do it with a single leg lift. If you want to keep both feet on the ground, you may. I'm going to be doing it on my wrist. But this you can do on your elbows as well, because we're not pulling a leg underneath the body, so we don't need that space. All right, so here's our plank. Your butt is about shoulder height. We're mostly looking for a straight line from the ears, the shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, okay? From here, notice that my feet are very, very flexed. It's the heel of my foot that's reaching back. So when I lift my leg, it's gonna be flexed first. Inhale to lift. Exhale to point. Inhale to flex. And then lower. So keep alternating the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep bracing those abs, squeeze the butt, squeeze the quads. Really squeeze the quads, especially if the legs are lifted. Keep that leg nice and straight and strong. Good. Come on down. Shake it out. We're going to try it again. We're actually going to do a rocking motion this time. I'm going to do this next round on my elbows, just to give your wrist a break. So before I go into the rocking motion with my leg lifted, the rocking motion is here. So my feet are flexed, and I point my toes. And so that brings my shoulders forward a little bit over the elbows. Okay? Let's try that. You don't have to do the single leg part. You can rock with your both feet on the ground. So here we go. Lift the heel. Point and rock forward. Flex both feet. See that? So I lift one leg, both feet are flexed. Now I'm going to rock forward because I'm pointing both legs. I'm pointing the bottom foot as well as the top foot. Flex, point, rock forward, flex both. So my bottom foot is doing a pointing. All right, listen, that was true. So my bottom foot was pointing as my top leg was pointing. So there's that rock forward, which has a little bit of choreography. Fun times, yes? Enough for plank? Okay. Enough for plank. Oh, doesn't it feel good to lay down? But we are going to work our butt. Oh, I didn't mean to say that, but we're going to work our butt. So here is our glute bridge. Some people call it a glute bridge because we're working the glutes. Some people call it a shoulder bridge. We're resting on our shoulder blades. But we're taking the articulation out. All right, your feet should be about hip distance apart. Notice your right and left hips go up at the same time. You pretty much only need to pay attention to your hips. We're going to do stuff with single legs, but I don't want you to worry too much about the legs, because in the end, if you have one leg lifted and your hips are tilted, that's not ideal. We really want to get both hips up at the same time. Okay, so we're going to lift one leg, it doesn't matter which. I'm going to lift my front leg. So push those hips up, lift. We're going to lower to about 45. We're going to lift again. We're going to lower to halfway point, so maybe here. That's between 90 and 45. 45 again, and then half. You can't do the math thing. 45, straight line, knee aligned, and then just a little bit. Last time, lower a lot, lower a little bit. Bend the knees, and take the hips back in. So what's happening is the stabilizing leg is doing a lot of work, and this top leg is just sort of having its fun. But the top leg is doing work because the leg is straight, the quad and hip flexors are engaging. Push those hips up. Half of 45 is 22.5. So this is 90, that's 45, and this is 90, minus 22.5. Inhale. I'm just alternating my breath here. There really is no wrong way to breathe for this particular exercise, other than if you stop breathing. Last pair here, 45, and then a little bit down. Good, bend. So this just tells you kind of the challenges of different angles. So 90 feels like, oh, it's pretty easy, but I have such a tight hamstring, so it's actually really hard for me. Lowering it challenges the abs more, but less on the hamstring. So anywhere in between just creates slightly different challenges. So that's why I want to target sort of different angles. So let's do the same thing, but slightly different. We're going to try to divide it down to thirds. And don't worry about perfection in terms of angles. We'll lift the butt, look at your hips. We're going to start at 90, go about a third down, hold, another third, and then we should hit right here, 45. Good, take 2 staggered lifts. Lift, lift, and 90. Lower down, lift, lower, lower, and 45. Make it a stagger, hold, hold, 90. Lower, hold, 45, last time, lift, lift, and 90. And we are making sure our hips are the same height the whole time. Again, all the endurance in that other leg. All right, other leg. You might find it's easier on one side than the other. That's very normal. Stagger it down for 3, 2, and hold at 45. Lift for 3, 2, and hold at vertical. Lower down, 3, 2, and 1, and up again. One more pass through. And lift. Actually, I don't know how many do the other side. A lot of time on the first slide, I explain a lot more. So it ends up dragging out the exercise. And the second side, I kind of breezed through it. And it felt so much harder than the first time. I'm really sorry about my counting. I'm gonna fix that soon. Okay. Spending a lot of time on this front side. Actually, we're gonna come to here. So our outer thighs, outer and inner thighs. We're gonna do what's called a hot potato. So the floor is hot. So we're basically gonna bounce our foot, not resting it, but tapping it on each side. So strong and lift it through the shoulder. You can do this like that with the bottom knee bent. You just imagine a leg. You can do it like this. You can do it with the hip lifted, bottom leg bent. You can do it with the hip lifted, bottom leg straight. All right, so go ahead and pick what version you want. Whether or not your hips are up and down, this top leg is working. All right, when your hips are lifted, you do work a little more obliques and outer thighs. All right, I'm gonna do the hip lifted with my bottom knee down. Tap for 8, and 7, and 6. My leg is going about hip height, 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you might be wondering, why don't I just go up and down? The forward and back motion slightly actually forces your abs to engage more, a little more, because it has to deal with the forward and back motion of your legs. So you can take it very far forward and very far back, but if it starts to make your torso wildly swing, then it's too much, right? You want to be able to create enough challenge. So if I go really far forward, I start to feel unstable and my torso starts to move. So you want to create just enough instability to challenge your abs and not actually create so much instability that your abs can handle. That's 6, 7, and 8. Good. We're going to go back to the first side. Now that we're familiar with the exercise, if you want to try a second variation, you can. So this time I'm going to try it with both legs straight. Good. Tapping for 8. And you'll feel more stable if your bottom knee is bent. When both legs are straight, that's when you really feel the forward and back, because you don't have the bent knee as kind of a kickstand. Last pair. Good. All right. Second side. Tapping it out for 8. 7. Stay lifted out of your shoulder. Last 4. 3. And 1. Good. All right, continue with our side sort of series. We're going to come up on our knees. If you need extra cushioning, you can always roll your mats and give it a little more cushion just for your knees. Extend one leg to the side. I'm working along one straight line, and I'm just using my mat for it. My hand, my knee, my foot, and my abs, my torso. It's all up against this imaginary plane. You don't want to push your butt back, all right? No hiking. I like to reach my arm up, so it reminds me to stay lifted out of my shoulder. It's actually really hard to sink into your shoulder too much when your arms are straight. Now look at your position of your foot. You want the kneecaps and toes facing forward. If the toes are facing up, it's external rotation. We want neutral rotation. So toes and knees face front. I'm actually going to keep my foot flexed so that you can really see that my foot stays parallel to the floor. Lift and lower. This is your full range, but we're going to play with those subset of angles again. So find your highest point. Take 2 counts lower down. a third, another third, and then down. Lift a third, hold, hold, and heights. Down, down, all the way down. If you really want a lot of challenge, don't let your foot come to the ground. Just let it hover right above the mat. Lift, back up. Last time. Hover if you want, and lift, back up. Good. It's not just the moving leg that's working. The stabilizing leg is also doing a lot of work. Why do we need to work on our outer thigh muscles, or inner thigh muscles? It's because they help to stabilize the pelvis. And core muscles are any muscles that attach to our pelvis and our spine. Flex the foot, do a couple full range. Find your full range. It should be about parallel to the floor, hip height, and then all the way to the floor. I don't think that's exactly 90 degrees or anything. We're just gonna break that section down, our range of motion, into thirds. All right, here we go. Lift, lift, lift. Lower, lower, lower. And if you want to rest your feet, you can. Really imagine your heel is trying to reach out and like touch that far wall. And also imagine like you really want to hit a specific angle, and every time you hit this angle, you squeeze your leg again. You should already be squeezing, but like just re-emphasize that. Lift and squeeze. Lift and squeeze. Lower and squeeze. Lower and squeeze. Last time. That leg up there. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do one more exercise on each side. And it's going to be your favorite, if you've done my class before, is little circles of fire. So keep that foot parallel. 6 circles in each direction. I think that was about 3 already. I don't know if you guys started with me, so we'll just do extra. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse. Circles are small. 6, 5. The reason I don't feel too bad about how I count is because everyone's kind of going at different paces anyways. I imagine. Ugh. Whew. Okay. I'm mentally ready now. First 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep those toes and knees facing forward. Reverse direction of circle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now that our butt and inner and outer thighs are thoroughly fatigued, and we've already forgot that our abs were ever fatigued, we're going to go back to abs. Reverse crunches. So this, I don't know why it's called reverse, because I guess this is the forward way to crunch and this is the reverse way to crunch, or we're lifting our butt. So we're going to use a little bit of momentum, that's okay. Knees can be bent if you like. I'm going to lower my legs just enough so I can kick my legs up there. And initially when you do this, you might use more momentum, right? You're like you're pressuring yourself and pressing the floor, and you push into the floor, and it's like a lot of momentum. But you do this enough times, your abdominals get stronger, and you can slow it down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Don't forget your abs are working right here when you're raised on a diagonal. Exhale. Inhale. Legs are going more up than over. It's always going to go over a little bit, but don't let it go over too much, because that becomes another exercise. So when you do this, you can try to use your arms and hold your hips up a little longer and bring it down slowly. And so what if you press your arms really firmly to the mat and you get a little bit of tricep movement down? That's good. It's not bad and that's not wrong. And no matter how much you press into the floor, trust me, your abs are still going to work a lot. Okay. I'm going to show you a quick variation. Take a little break. From here, you go up, and it's kind of like you make a teardrop. You go down, a little U, come up, center, down. So this creates a little more challenge to the obliques. I'm not going so far over, my butt lifts up. Your hips have a range of motion, enough range that you can move your legs side to side without ever lifting your butt up. So try this if you like. Up, down to the side, U-turn, lift, other side, U-turn, lift. I'm still pressing into my hands. I just turn my body so you can see how I don't even know what that looks like. Fun variations. Okay, so now that we've done this part of our abdominals, lifting the legs, we're going to do teasers. Teasers start with the roll up. So bring your knees to tabletop. Lift your arms, head, shoulder blades. And then we're going to get stuck here. We're going to kick our legs out, crunch up, pull our knees back in. That's one of your basic teasers. There's so many variations of teasers, and I don't even know if they have official names. They're just called teaser, variation 1, variation 2, variation 3. Open up our legs back down, out so we can roll down with control, and we're back to the start. So focus on this one. I'm going to give some variations of it. But again, arms, head, shoulders, keep your legs out, transfer that weight, use your abdominals and that weight transfer to come up. Find your balance on your tailbone. It's harder to keep your legs straight, right? When you're on your tailbone, which is another challenge. But in order to roll back with control, you got to extend those legs so you can roll back down with control. If you try to roll down with your knees in your chest, you will just fall back. So if my knees are right here and I start to roll back, this is actually what rolling like a ball is. You just end up falling. And then if you want to come back up, you have to punch. All right, so rolling like a ball actually is a very big part of teasers. All right, so I'm going to show you some variations if you want to do with me. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale, extend. Whether your knees are bent or straight, we're going to clap underneath and in between our legs. Back to center, balance. Split the other way. Down. And then roll it. All right, how many claps can we do? Let's try 4 claps. So basically two splits on each leg. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders, exhale, lift. So 4 claps, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resets, inhale, exhale. Want to try to straighten legs? Okay, we can do that, anything you want. Inhale, arms, head, neck, shoulders. 4 claps, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. All right, one more teaser, any variation you like. Bent knees, straight legs. 8 claps? Wow, okay. Who came up with that idea? Inhale, arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys deserve so much claps. Thanks for your patience with me today. Ugh. And we're done. Okay, you can flip over again and do a little spine balance. This is always great to do every day. You don't do Pilates every day. I don't even do Pilates every day. But if I were to pick something to do every day just to kind of maintain my spine, my posture, and just to prevent lower back pain, it would be this exercise. So on your hands and knees, find your neutral spine. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Extend the leg, no higher than the hip. Find your stability, and then reach the opposite arm forward. Good. So we haven't ever done too many variations of this. This is the basic spinal balance. You can add an in and outs. But notice I'm not coming out of my neutral. Keeping my abs nice and tight, and keeping my spine in neutral. And then we can add a pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's try that on the other side. Extend the leg, extend the opposite arm. Find your balance first. Both sides are not equal. Usually we're stronger on one side than the other. Bring it in and out. So this is just challenging our balance, making our spine and abs work harder to maintain that neutral and balance because our limbs are working. Good, and then try for pulses for 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, round that spine. Drop the head, drop the tailbone. If you had a tail, now it's very high in the air, as is your chest. High that tail, lower the head. Awesome job. Let's just do a quick hamstring stretch. You can have one leg out. Hamstrings are one of the tightest muscles on our bodies. So I tend to spend a little time stretching it. If you want to also open up your hips, you can. And then you're going to bring the arm across the body. Continue your breath, and the other side. If you want a little more stretch, you can flex the feet. You're getting inner thighs, hips, and hamstrings. The closer you get your chest or the thigh, the deeper the stretch. All right, sorry for the late start, and thank you guys so much for your patience. And keep trying to figure out this Zoom situation here.